All right, we live. We here. We doing the thing. I think. Think. Um. Let us see. Cool. Cool. It's working. Very nice. All right. So what's up, everybody? I don't know who's here or who's doing what. I'm gonna try and keep an eye on the chat and just hang out and do my thing. So let's move this back a little bit and turn this on. Okay. So, yep, I'm bored. Not really anything to do. I just got the baby to sleep, so I'm not gonna go upstairs and paint or anything. So I thought I would work on some resin. This is the GK model recast. I don't know who the original caster this is, but it's the SD ground type Gundam. By, like I said, GK model. I looked at this a little while back, and this thing, the cast on this is fantastic. And it's a really, really, really straightforward kit. So, should be really easy to put into like a workable state. If I can find a knife. I should probably, oh, I don't even have my knife. These are plastic baggies. Oh boy, it's been a long day. Okay. So most of this will fit together on its own, with no work on my end. I don't think I've done anything with this, so I should be good to just work into it or start, hitting the head. There's like no tab on this piece at all. Have I started this? I don't even remember. Well, I guess I could always start pinning it. So, and cleaning up some of the rougher spots, like right here. There's some crud inside that. There we go. I'm not as worried about the chest detail because I'll be able to fill that in with that thing, and it'll really look all right. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of hit this with the knife a little bit. There we go. That was really easy. It's a world of difference what just like 2 seconds with a knife can do. So I learned a new little trick for pinning, and what that is you just take a little bit of paint. I don't know why this never crossed my mind. This is literally like the most genius thing I've ever seen in my life. You take some paint, you just put like not even a dot, like that'll work. And you just dry fit the piece. And then when you take it apart, there is a place for your pinhole on both sides. And what I can do now is, now that I've got that, let's go ahead and dot that again. just to make sure it's nice and even. And those should line up pretty well. So, yep, just need to hammer away at the rest of the kit. So, we'll probably start with the chest and then work our way out and down and everything else. So, gotta figure out which way this piece fits in. I imagine it's going to fit in. Yeah, it's this way. And that still needs some, just a tiny bit of work. So let's hit that with a knife a little bit. Oh yeah, definitely. What's up, Dave? How you doing? Yeah, that's the way that needs to be. So what's up, Playground? How are you? How you gonna be on a live stream at work, Dave? That's very unprofessional. Like I have any room to talk. I think that'll work. Yeah, the airbrush scares can be can be some of the worst. I thought one of my airbrushes was out of commission for a while, and I just kind of let it do its thing, and then I ended up taking it apart to show a friend some things with his airbrush, and wound up fixing it. I still don't quite know how I did it or what I did to fix it, but it's fixed, so I'll take it. Go. So that's fine. I'll let that sit in there. That'll be okay. I guess I can start pinning this a little bit. Where's my other arm? That's the left one. Definitely that. God, if I had to replace one of my airbrushes, you think that I'd be prepared for something like that, but definitely not. Is what, NASA? Why would an O-ring cost $8? That is insane. I think I need to drill a little farther into this. There we go. I would not buy an O-ring for that much money. I have enough holes in my ears and enough, sets of plugs for them that I've got O-rings laying around, and I'm sure they'll work just fine. Big shout out to Dave for getting me on these sanding sticks or nail files. He's only sent me 100 of them over the what 5 or 6 years I've known you, and I'm just now finally using them, and I don't know why I haven't used them before. I have no excuse for my shameful actions. There we go. So that is looking much better. Nice and smooth. All the crud gone. I don't know when I'm going to paint this, but I'm really looking forward to doing it. This might be my test bed for the new Vallejo Mecha colors. I think I might try them on this. I've done a couple test sprays. I'm going to admit straight away, I had some initial trouble getting them to spray through the airbrush, and I've only painted on like dark gray or like dark color primered pieces. So I can't really give like a full-on consensus yet. But I did have a lot of trouble getting them to go through the airbrush the first time I used them. Today I tried again, and I cranked my PSI up to 25, and straight out of the bottle, it sprays on a little bit misty, but I mean a little misty, a little rough. But it sprays, so that's a start. And then with thinning it 1-to-1 using Vallejo's airbrush thinner, it comes out a little too thin. So I'm thinking maybe just like 1 drop of thinner to maybe 3 drops of paint. We might get a little bit better results. They're advertised as airbrush paint, so I don't think they're necessarily pre-thinned, but I think that they're thin enough that they're supposed to be able to spray through the airbrush with no work done to them. So I was using my Patriot, which is my wide nozzle brush, instead of my fine brush. That tends to be where I test everything that I don't really know if it's going to work or not. And I was shocked that I couldn't get it to spray through there, because I got all kinds of stuff to go through that brush. I hope that lines up. I was just outside where I needed to be with that one. Yep. That's all right though. Save that for later. Some of it wasn't even going through. Like I said, the first time I tried it, I was going at like my usual about 15 to 20 psi, and I was barely getting any paint through the brush at all. And then like when paint would go through, it would kind of come out really, like, I don't know, spatter a lot, and then it would just dry up and near the tip, I guess, and it would stop coming out altogether. And then I'd have to go in and empty the airbrush and you know, clean it out, reload it. which I've always had a lot of trouble spraying Vallejo through an airbrush. It's one of those things you have to just really learn how to do. You have to be really diligent about it. But you know, it just took adjusting the pressure to get it to spray. Now it's getting like a nice, smooth, clean, consistent coat. So I think I'm just gonna play with like adding drops of thinner to it. I'm gonna pick up some of their flow improver. I've heard that stuff works wonders for airbrushing, so I think that will help me a ton in the long run. And it's just the airbrush. Like their paints are fantastic. Some of the best acrylics on the market, but they are not airbrush friendly paints. That or I'm using the wrong airbrush. Maybe that, I don't know. Maybe that's it. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I think this is going to be my test bed for that. And I think I'm going to just kind of go a little, I don't want to say all out, but I think I'm going to try as much of the line as I can, because I have bought a lot of it, a lot more than I probably should have, because I'm a sucker for new paints, and I like having paints. Yeah, I just have to. I think I'm gonna see if it's on Amazon or if it's where I normally order my paints. If they have it, I'll order it from them. Whatever's gonna get it to me fastest, because I can't find it locally, which sucks. Man, getting to that last little bit. I don't think I'm really gonna have to glue that in there or pin that in there anyway. Everything's gonna sit on that, so maybe I'll just put the pin in and call it for that. What is the best paint? I mean, I don't think there's anything such thing as the best paint. There's different paints for different things, depending on what you're trying to do. And then even then, any answer that's given is going to be varied, because everyone's got their own preferences and methods of doing things. There is no one best paint. you go. Maybe I can fix that other pin. Let's think of doing it that way. And that seems to have done the trick. All right. I only airbrush Tamiya. Like, I would not advise hand brushing Tamiya at all. Of course, if you're going for a certain style of paint, you know, you could definitely hand brush it. But I know traditionally that's not what most people are looking for. And as such, hand brushing is not the best method. I have found, however, that if you, whoa, okay. I've found that if you thin it using lacquer thinner instead of Tamiya's thinner, it is a lot smoother and it looks a lot nicer. So there's always that. Yeah, I'm just gonna glue that in place. I'm not gonna sweat that being not pinned. That'll be totally fine, just super glued in place. That leaves this to worry about. So, not digging the way these joints look. That little bit of a like knee gap or whatever. I mean, I guess I get it, but not the best looking thing. Not seeing too much crud on these. They look nice and clean for the most part. Okay, so let's see if I can pin this without going through the other thing. It's probably not going to happen, so maybe I shouldn't do it. I think I'm going to not do it. I'd rather just glue it and it'll be fine. Just cover that connection before I start to paint. Where's the next part? It's going to be these guys. Ooh. All right. So go into this guy. All right. Let's go back to doing this the way we were doing it before. There's a lot of ways to do chrome. A lot of ways. Again, it boils down to trial and error and preference. A lot of people say that Spaz does some of the best chrome you can get. There's that new Molotov chrome paint. It comes in like a little pen, which I'm super skeptical of. I've heard it takes like 3 days to dry just to touch it, and then like another week on top of that to cure. But I've seen people like seal it using Tamiya clear colors, and it just looks fantastic. And that's a marker, so you can like fill it in your airbrush. You can just throw it straight in your airbrush, and it should. I think the idea is it will go from that pen to working in your airbrush with no problems, and it gives you a really nice chrome. Ooh. But I haven't used it, so I don't know. I don't do a lot of like. Did that really just happen? Are you serious? All right. There's that. Now to do the other one. Oh my God, did I really do that? I pinned the wrong goddamn leg. But that's okay, because they are interchangeable. Where did that armor go, though? Nope, 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 nope. Where's it at? I swear I just saw it. Wow, Justin. So, slip that on here, put that on the proper leg, and no big deal. Yeah, that is kind of one of the things about Alclad is you have to just kind of like play with them and figure out how you want to use them. Because I can say from my own experience that like a lot of their paints, and I tend not to say this too much because I know a lot of people, myself included, like to push the prime your models thing, but a lot of Alclads I will not prime my model. I'll just straight Alclad to the surface, and it tends to look okay. Again, like chrome and stuff like that are going to be your exceptions, but if you're just going to spray like aluminum, you can lay it straight over plastic. You can lay down steel straight over plastic, and it'll look fine. Just give it light dust coats. Be very careful. And there's reasons for that. But a lot of their paints, you have to use them a certain way in order to maximize their effectiveness. Come on. There we go. Too much. Yeah, I like Alclad's thinner, but I feel like if I fill my airbrush cup up, when I get down towards the end of what I'm painting, it tends to get a little thick before I finish. So I'll do like a half a cup as opposed to like a full cup when I'm spraying it, just so I don't run into that issue. Besides that, it's fantastic primer. Really, it covers well. It looks nice. It lasts a very long time. I need to set up like a GoFundMe just so I can buy more of these little resin kits because they are so much fun. That was also a joke. I wanted to try the holomatic chrome, but it tends to be like really marked up everywhere that sells it online. If you can find it. And I don't think I would use it enough to merit paying like a marked up price for an already expensive paint. So I just do without. There we go. All right. We are getting somewhere. This guy is finally coming together. Whew. All right. Do I pin the backpack? Probably not, just because I can already tell that this is not very thick, and it's gonna bust through, and I don't want to have to fix that. Oh, how did I miss that? Yuck. Um, Fortunately, this cast is pretty good, so I'm not gonna have to worry too much about doing any rescribing. But I do know that one of these eyes is going to have to be recasted. I'm probably just going to recast both of them because the Easy 8 is missing one. So, to save myself the hassle of dealing with that, I'll just recast. Or this one might be the one that only has one. Nope, there it is. They got both of them. Cool. All right. Let's get these ankles in. Okay, yeah, I'll look into it. Like I said, it's a little tricky to find at a rate that I consider worth it. But if I can get my hands on it, I definitely will try it. Is there an inlay for this, or is that just supposed to look like that? That is awful. Man, I don't want to scratch build anything for that. Not that it'd be difficult. I just don't want to do it. Look at how undetailed that is. It's literally just hollowed out. The toe detail is there, and it looks fine. It looks great. But that heel, I just do two little squares right in there and call it a day. I don't know why that doesn't have anything in it. All right, let's get these ankles pinned, and then we can start working on the arms. So, that's that one. We'll start with this guy. Yeah, 16 is a lot for a little jar of paint that's like an ounce. If I was getting like 5 or 6 ounces of paint, you know, we could talk. But that's like borderline Citadel pricing, where you pay like $6 for a half an ounce of paint. And then to make matters worse, Alclad is pre-thinned, so you're technically getting less than that, because at least with Citadel, you can thin it out and make it last longer. You can't exactly thin out Alclad too much. Come on, get in there. Okay, so next up, we're gonna slap on a couple of these. That is definitely just getting glued in. I'm not messing with all that. That is completely fine the way it is. It actually sits in there really nice and snug. And I'm sure that is going to sit even more snug. Yeah. So that's not going to be good. Nope, not just focus for me. No, I hate you. Okay. Arms. Our elbows, the wrist, that plugs into the shoulder. Let's get our hands. The hands are going to be the trickiest part. Just because there's two of them on here. So let's get rid of this crud. That's another piece that's just going to be glued in. I'm not going to sweat pinning that too much. This, however, is going to get pinned. So, like that. Nice, nice, nice. Now I'll pin that to the Whoa! Holy crap. Okay then. I'm just gonna do this the old-fashioned way and just just get it where I want it and drill through it this way. Oh my god, that scared me. This is like the only pin I don't care if it sticks through the top. And it won't even stick through the top that much, just a little bit. Then put that in there. And that'll go in there like that. And then like that. And there's our arm. Of course, that part won't stick on until I put some blue tack on it, but you get the idea. Oh god, I'm falling apart. Oh man, down. All right, so one leg pretty much prepped. Yuck. A little bit of gunk inside there. Get rid of that. On this side. There we go. This one goes over here. It's like the best ankle lock system I've ever seen. Bandai needs to go ahead and steal this one. Oh, all right. Well, this is actually pretty nicely color separated. Like if you actually if you look, all these little pieces here are like some of the masked bits. So there's like all those little spikes for the knee are right here. There's the eyes, which are also separate for some reason. The little guns on the chest are separate. The tiny little crotch piece is separate. So those are going to be painted on their own and you know, glued in. This is the chin. Sometimes they go a little overboard with separating some of this stuff. So there's the little chest intake, which I believe is with a white border and painted yellow on the inside, or maybe it's the other way around. But yeah, everything's ultra color separated, and I am a fan. I'm a huge fan. What are you working on? I've got a 100 scale Kshatriya, and I'm not looking forward to putting that together. I know that it's gonna take a lot out of me. Yeah, I painted an Origin Zaku. I want to say a week and a half ago, and whoever designed the seams on that kit, I just want to find them and punch them in the face, because those seams had no reason to be like they were in this day and age with Bandai's engineering and all that. Especially in the legs. Like the arms, I guess I could deal with, but the leg seams or were just, they were stupid. Yeah, man, I had to like shove masking tape in the, like, around the knee frame and all that, and then put the leg together and then mask it, and then like slowly pull the tape away. Not fun. Do not advise. I don't know why Bandai did that. Oh man, my bench it's past full. I really shouldn't be building this, but you know, here I am building this. I wouldn't even mask the thruster area. I would save that until the end, and I would just paint it after I flat coated everything. Oh, there was a piece in my lap. What is that? Oh, that would have been fun to lose. Whew. Let me go get her bottle and fill that up real quick. Oh, got a phone call. Who called? Hello? Hey. Okay. That's fine. She's asleep. Yeah, she didn't have a nap, so I got her to sleep around 7:30. Yeah. Hopefully she stays asleep. Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah. No, I'll stay up and wait till you get home. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we won't be long. All right. All right. All right. Love you. Okay. What? That is so vague. Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. All right. I'll talk to you later. All right. I'll tell you when we're on. All right. All right. Love you. Love you. Bye. Bye. My Zaku is part of a diorama that was going to be at a local shop that I just found that we had. And then work decided they were going to keep everybody on schedule Monday through Saturday for the entirety of the month of October. And for the first time since I've been working there, work has screwed me out of something I wanted to do. So I'm a little salty about it, but I actually stopped in there today, and the guy said that I could drop my kids off ahead of time. So I just might do that if I end up in that area again. All right, so there we go. Just gotta pin that up. Truthfully, I think the only thing that really needs to be pinned on this is the head itself. I think the rest I can kind of do without. This is over color separated. It's too much. Like, this is so unnecessary. Look at, like, even this little red eye mask thing. I didn't even realize all this was color separated. It's gonna save me so much time when it comes to painting, but God. I'm not even gonna pin that. I'm just gonna glue that in there. I don't even care. That looks fine. So this needs some light just dip it in some hot water just to get that straight. I'm gonna fix this other ankle. I'll do that real quick. Okay. All right, so if I don't cut this one too long, this one should fit right in the other peg hole. Let's just cut that like right there. There we go. Where's the other? There it is. What is up, Jay Thomas? It's going well on my end. How are you? Yep, I'm live for now. The other half is on her way home soon, and I gotta be up at. I actually have a pretty late start tomorrow. I gotta be up at 5 for work. Come on, get in there. There we go. Pretty pleased with that. It's like the more I look at this thing, the more I see little slips that need to be fixed, but nothing a little sanding and some TLC won't fix. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, this is the SD. Wow, focus, what are you doing? The SD brown type resin kit from GK Model. Pretty cool. It's as awesome as all the other ones I've built up until now. So this one I think is actually in a lot of ways better than some of those other ones I've done. Like some of the engineering on this is just super top notch. Like it's all color separated, and you don't really have to think about too much. Pinning is super straightforward. Just dot a pin in the middle of a piece and slap the other side on. It's been pretty easy. Not too much guesswork involved. How is the HD Blue Destiny? HD. Wow. Sturdy is always good. There we go. Nice. I don't know why this has a beam rifle. This is never this. I don't think this guy ever used a beam rifle. Now I'm gonna have to go dig into the Easy 8 kit and see if he has the standard machine gun and swap them, because I feel that equipping this with uh, this weapon would make me a traitor. And I don't even care about like anime accuracy like that, but all these things did was get blown up. What's up, Alex? How you doing, bud? Oh man, the HG full armor is did it? I still feel like it's kind of a cheat though, because you typically see those with the machine gun or the cannon. If this thing came with the cannon, it would have been sick. Road trip, where are you going? If you're on a road trip, why are you talking to me on a stream? Ain't you got a family to be chilling with? I guess I should pin that. Well, the Blue Destiny is a lot like this kit, except bluer and Destinier, but not like Seed Destiny, like, you know, a different kind of Destiny that's not so I don't know, bad, I guess. I can't really say that. I've not watched Seed Destiny in any capacity, so. Now, did you get the old one or the new one? Because that would make a bit of a difference. Uh, Build wise, it looks a lot like the new GM that just came out not too long ago. The ground GM and the other Blue Destiny that got announced is probably identical. But I imagine the old ones are a lot like the old ground type Gundams, which I mean aren't the worst, but definitely want those updates. Definitely want those updates. Oh shoot. Okay, yeah. That kit looks pretty nice. I know a lot of people are a little less than pleased with the proportions on it, but I've heard the build is really good. I really want to go upstairs and just start priming this, but I know if I start priming it, I'm not going to go to sleep. So I'm not going to do that, no matter how bad I want to. But the pinning is all but done. I have to pin this still. I don't feel like taking this other arm off. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, truthfully. He went like right together. A couple real small fixes left. I guess I can do those while I'm. Ugh, I don't want to take them all the way apart again. Let's fix these legs. Because there's some muck right there. Not happy about it. Let's see if that sticks out when it primes. There we go. Much better. Get in there with the knife. Give that last little bit. Yeah, this leg got the short end of the stick. Yeah, the only place near me that sells Gunpla is about an hour and a half away, and I happened to be up that way for work today, and they had, I want to say, like 9 kits, and that's it. Um, but just the fact that they sell Gunpla makes me very happy. So I will continue to shop there as long as I can, because the owner is a really cool guy too. So it's a win-win. All right, I think that's everything for that. I guess I could do some hot water and fix these V-fin points. Maybe if I can get it out. There we go. I'm gonna run, go to the bathroom, and grab some blue tack while that water warms up. All right, I'm back. Oh no, I very much live in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know that this place was near me until I happened to see somebody on a Facebook group post from near me, and I was like, "We have a place that sells Gundam around us," and sure enough, I mean, it's not a very big selection at all, but it's better than nothing. So I definitely agree with that. Um, Back before I moved into my own place, I had to drive just an hour to find anything, and that's typically like model cars and stuff. But yeah, I usually just order online. But now that I have somewhere that does, you know, sell near me, I try to support that the best I can. Not quite hot enough. So while I was up there, I grabbed two things that I sprayed just to test the Vallejo color. Excuse me, the Vallejo color out. And first of all, I didn't do this under any kind of controlled conditions or anything like that. I just took stuff that I knew would work because I didn't really want to spend too much time fooling with it. So I had this little mini Zaku kit that I had ordered or got in a set, and it's a little grainy in spots. I mean, you can see it, especially around the knees and stuff. But it came out smoother than I give it credit for. Than it initially sprayed. Here on the back, it's a little worse. But you can see the kind of texture I got spraying it straight. And then when I thinned it down, I got a much smoother spray, but I actually over thinned it. And this is what I ended up with. So, there we go. Nope. Come on. Come on, camera. What are you doing? There we go. Again, smooth, but it was too thin, so would have needed multiple coats to properly cover. So I think if I just thinned it a little bit less, I wouldn't have got some of that pooling and stuff you can see on the shoulder there. And I think it would have just generally been a lot better. So you just got to play with the ratio and find a good one. But I was surprised that it sprayed. I mean, now that it's dry, I'm surprised it sprayed as well as it did. Whew. This ought to be hot enough. I tried to order one time from Mandrake, and it turned out the item that I wanted was no longer in stock, and it really broke my heart. But one day I will order from them. All right, I think that's good enough. We run this under some cold water. All right. So let's blue tack a little bit. And yeah, a lot of the rare stuff is reasonably priced, and that's one of the beauties of it. Is I think a lot of that stuff sells at like close to retail price. So if you're lucky enough to find something on there, um, pick it up, because you never know when it's not going to be around. Okay. The hazel suit. Which one? Um, See, that's a hard question, because um, I build kits that I like, and we might have different tastes. Um, I mean, if I had to suggest anything, yeah, literally anything with a Revive sticker on it is fantastic. That line has done wonderful things to the high grade line, um, and I can't wait to see what else they come up with. Um, that's really the best thing I can suggest. Is those kits are just really nice, and you really can't go wrong with them. Or at least I haven't yet. So, um, find a Revive kit that you think looks cool and pick it up, man. Yeah, they're awesome. Uh, First master grade. Again, kind of. I think a lot of people um, assume that master grades are like so much tougher than high grades, and they're really not. The jump is really just in parts and like the size of the parts. Building a master grade is no different than building a high grade. So, if if there's a master grade out there that looks good to you, now I would say stay away from anything that transforms straight away, because when you get into master grades, they tend to do a little bit less of the parts stuff and a little bit more of the um, it actually transforms stuff, and that can lead to really, really odd and kind of sometimes crappy engineering. But besides that, I think just about anything you would go with is a safe bet. Uh, you know, um, Not all master grades are created equally. Um, One of my favorite master grades of all time is the Age One Normal. That kit is wonderful. But again, I know that Age didn't do super well, and I think that comes from a lot of the design choices more than the quality of the model kits. Uh, but I enjoyed that one. Um, The Jesta is really good. The Garadoga is really good. Um, there's a lot of really solid kits out there. You just got to find something you like. I've heard a lot of good things about the MG Providence. I'm not personally a fan of the design, um, but again, I've heard that it's a really good kit. It's just a big kit, you know. It's I don't think it's you're gonna have any different experience than working on a high grade. There's just more parts and there's a skeleton. You know, it's not the build isn't going to be like a totally different thing. And that's one thing Bandai is really good at is putting out consistent builds. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like all the parts are bigger and there's just more of them. Very happy with the way this guy's coming out. He looks so cool for being like a little SD. Um, I can't wait to paint this guy up. The hard part is going to be deciding if I want to weather it at all, because I think weathering on an SD might be a little strange. But we'll see. Yeah, that was the Efreet. That was a Re 100 kit, and it was probably my favorite Re 100, if I'm being totally honest. That kit is wonderful. I'm sitting here patiently waiting, twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the Efreet not to be announced. Considering we have all the variants of the Efreet now, except for that one in 1144 and 1100 scale. So there's no reason why at this point we don't have that as well, especially given the number of like custom builds of it on Twitter and stuff. That thing looks so good. I really hope we get one. But I know that the Schneid was like was probably their moneymaker, since that one got animated a couple times. So there it is. He's standing. He's pinned. He's ready to go. I just have these guys right here to glue in after I paint them and all that stuff. But the main mobile suit is basically done. All the cleanup is done. I'll give him another once over after I prime him, and yeah. So he looks really good. I'm very happy with this. What is a rollout of fruit? Let's see what we got on the wiki. Oh, you know what? You're right. Granted, it's mostly the Schneid. Just kind of geared down a little bit. Huh. Still think we deserve the Noct. The Noct is my favorite variant of Efreet. I forgot that guy existed. He kind of like, he looks a lot like the Schneid, just different shoulders, like same colors and everything. So I guess there's two Efreet versions that we haven't received yet. Oh man, the last year, that's a tough one. Let's see. I haven't kept up with a ton of the new kits. I've heard a lot of really good things about the Real Grade Unicorn. So if you're into the Unicorn, I'd give that a look. If you're willing to step outside the box a little bit, I have been digging on these guys real hard. This is the Hexa gear. This is the Rayblade Impulse, and it's got a pilot figure on the back. Here's the pilot figure. Here's how big he is. The pilots retail for about I'd say 15, 16 bucks, which seems like a lot. It is kind of a lot for the size of it, but apparently this is for a game that's coming out soon, so you'll be able to buy these and put them together and play a game with them. But the Ray Blade was $50, just about, and he turns into this cool wolf thing, and then that transforms into like this weird motorcycle thing. And I'm super into it. I love it. But if you're not into Zoids or anything like that, I could see how this might not appeal. The Ifrit came out this year, I believe. Man, what else? The new Ground GM high grade is wonderful. I was so happy with that kit. I built it and painted it in like 2 days. I can go grab it if you want to see it. Let's see. If you're not sick of IBO at this point, the Full Mechanics Barbatos Lupus is really good. I don't care for the Rex personally, but I imagine it's not much different than the Lupus. So if you like the Rex more, I'd say go for it. I don't know. I'm drawing some blanks here. I haven't picked up a new kit in a while, so. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. They really flooded us with those. And hopefully that slows down a little bit. Whew. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Double Zeta. I'm not really a fan of the design, so I have no interest in it. But you know, maybe it's super dope. Man, if the Double Zeta gets an RG, I'm gonna be really sad because I'm gonna have to buy it. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I I've got one of those I built and painted. I'm not excited about it. Oh man, I am such a fan of RP or RGs. I own every single one except for the last two. I have 3 Mark II kits, and I'm excited to build 2 of them. Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get ready for bed soon. Summer should be home soon, so I will be able to go to bed, which is my favorite thing. um, but hopefully, I will. I'm gonna slip by Walmart tomorrow and get some Purple Power, and I'm gonna soak this bad boy for a day or two to get rid of that mold release. And I think I'm gonna start blasting through painting this guy soon. Um, try some new stuff, try out some new paints. I have all the colors I need, I believe, for this guy, so I'll be able to just start firing away at it, and we can see how those Vallejo Mecha colors paint once I figure out my ratios and get everything going. So, yeah, hopefully you guys had fun. I did, and I was productive at that, which is very rare. Yeah, definitely, man. I try to plan them ahead, at least a day. Um, normally I stream on Twitch, but I felt that like I've been leaving YouTube hanging, so I did on here today. Um, but either way, if you follow me on Instagram or whatever, or on Facebook, I try to let people know like at least a couple hours in advance before I do stream. Um, Sometimes it's a little less than that. Like today, I didn't put any kind of notice or anything up. The baby fell asleep, and I was like, "Hey, I can do stuff," so I popped on. Usually, weekends are the go-to. So like Saturday nights and Sunday nights, or well, Sunday early afternoon would probably be better. But when like the end of November rolls around, I'll be a lot more active on everything because with my job, we're off work for like a month and a half. So I'll just be plugging away at stuff, and I'll be a lot more active on YouTube and on Twitch and stuff like that. So I'll be doing more streams, and if I can keep things going up, maybe I'll do some giveaways and stuff like that as well. Hopefully, no promises. I have a lot of things I want to do. It's just whether or not I'll be able to do them. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. It's been fun, and I'll see you guys next time I'm around, or hopefully. So later.